Kennedi is so scary. Oh my gosh. Especially this episode, but then that preview for next week with her crying because she's scared to potentially get into a fight. So it's like, I don't want to embarrassing. And it's embarrassing because if you watch that podcast that she did a couple of weeks ago where she was trying to get on Alexis and Legacy about being scary, like, did you forget that this was going to air? Crazy. But shout out to y'all for, as always, for showing love to the videos. Keep thumbsing up the videos and dropping in the comments and subscribing and sharing, doing all of that as always. We're on the road to 15K. Shout out to y'all. We're going to get into this episode right now because I really don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. All right, so we get back to where we left off. We got Legacy in there pretty much cleaning that hibachi that she threw all over the office. The other girls, they're twerking and whatever, and we got Yaz who had Legacy on the phone talking to somebody about her whooping on Sai. But Legacy said that she interrupted because she wanted to get on the PJ and take pictures and stuff, and she's mad because now her wig, like, looks like parts of her wig is not there. But Kennedi, she get mad because Ferrari pretty much called her Key. And she's sitting there saying that's why Key wasn't supposed to be on the be in the line to get on the jet. I was supposed to be there. No, you're not. No, you're not. So I beat her ass and da-da-da. No, you're not. No, you're not. Especially after this episode and then what we see next week, you have no business being on the show. For you to be talking tough like you've been talking tough and then to do what you did later on and next week, you have no business being on the show. But Kennedi is talking about how she been popping shit, and they said that's why you're on the PJ. I can't wait to see if their energy that they had for the other girls transfers over to next week. I know it won't, but I just want to see so I can get on here and talk about it. But Kennedi then claims that she's going to beat Key's ass yet again, picking and choosing when she wants to fight somebody. Like, we'll get to it. But they head off to the PJ. They're recapping Kennedi acting a fool in that office. Snow likes Kennedi. She finds Kennedi funny and amusing. Not me anymore. I thought she was at the beginning, but like she's corny. But Kayla, her mouth looks crazy. Like, the upper lip is crazy. The lip right here is it just looks crazy. But they start talking about Cancun, the house, what it's going to look like, going and skinny dipping when they get there and get in the pool. They then start playing Truth or Dare. Kennedi's over there sucking on Yasmin's you know what. And Yaz clearly likes Kennedi. I don't know if it's a crush situation or a best friend situation, but it seems like they are literally like this for the season. But they start playing Never Have I Ever as well. And you got Sai, who's in her confessionals on that confessional gangster shit, popping her shit like she's really like next level, shouldn't be on the show type energy. Like, I'm above all of y'all, but she's sitting here on the show with the girls. And then not only that, she's mute in real time. The confessional energy that she has is not matching in real time. Like, it's crazy. But Kayla then talks about how she gonna press Kennedi if she's still crying about not fighting or whatever. Which, again, like I said just a few minutes ago, I want to see if Kayla has the same energy for Kennedi. Because if you have it for her, you should have it for Kennedi. But we'll get to it in a minute. But Kayla says that she likes Caribbean, but that crying and shit going on an hour later is annoying. Nugg then starts talking about how she's crying on the show when she got a baby and she on that as TV. I'm like, you're a weirdo. But Kayla then says, if Caribbean doesn't want to fight, what is your point being there? Kennedi, can you answer that question? Yeah. But they finally get to Cancun, and they got this mariachi band. They got a performance going on. They get off the bus. They're all dancing. And the coach crew, when I say coach, the normal people that were riding the normal plane, they decide to pull up. They get there. They have their drinks and whatever. Everybody's all together. Everybody's dancing and whatever. But Ferrari then welcomes them all to Cancun when they're all in the living room. And she then tells them, y'all not going to be fucking up this house like y'all fucked up the other house, fucked up the office, and y'all not going to do it because I run y'all bitches. You don't. You don't. You want them to believe that, but you don't. And the way Alexis was sitting there looking at her was me. Alexis, she clearly ain't in the mood. She irritated right now because they played in her face with that whole jet situation. And I feel like she's probably tired anyways. But Ferrari then asked if anybody else wants to get something off of their chest. Again, you want to ask this, but then at the end, she's sitting there trying to say, oh, well, when is it going to be over? But you keep sitting here asking questions that you know is going to lead to a fight. Stop acting like you don't want them to fight. That's why I can't stand Ferrari, and that's why I can't stand Natalie Nunn. They are two sides of the same coin. They try to act like they don't want beef and drama and fights, yet y'all egg it on, knowing what y'all are doing. And it's like, we understand why y'all are doing it for the show, but don't sit here and act like you don't want it when you know you do. That's the only way you're going to get paid. Like, let's keep it real. But Nugg gets up because she sees Legacy standing there. Legacy got head wrapped. She got her mouth guard in. And Legacy's like, this 300-pound arm-ass bitch is sitting here staring at me, so it's time to get suited and booted. So Nugg gets up. They square up. Legacy tries to throw a hat at Nugg. I don't know what that was going to do. I don't know what it's going to do, but it goes straight to the floor, and Nugg comes straight to her and popped her in her face a couple times. Like, clean connect. I think that first one was what cut that eyebrow, because it connected, and it connected good. She backed Legacy into that wall, but when they was at that wall, they both was going blow for blow. It looked even when they was going blow for blow, but Legacy don't hit as hard as Nugg does. This is Nugg's best performance for me in terms of fighting. Like, this is the best she's ever looked fighting. She was hitting hard, and she did. Like, she took over the rest of that fight to where Legacy couldn't really get it. Legacy lost that one. I hate it because y'all know I love me some Legacy. I don't really care for Nugg, but Nugg definitely got that when she was duping her. She's feeling herself now, obviously, because that's her best performance, like I said, and you can tell she feels that. But Legacy's eyebrow is cut, is bleeding. And Legacy's laughing about how she had threw that hat and it went straight to the floor. And she said, that was my funniest fade. That's why I love Legacy. Ass beat or not, she's still going to laugh. She's still going to be her. She ain't going to change nothing. Like, you can beat her ass. She's still going to be the same confident person that she is. But she's in the bathroom now washing her eyebrow. And Nugg is in there now trying to address everybody because she feels tough now. Because that's really what it is. Talking about some y'all cool, y'all cool. So Ferrari then talking about some, get it off right now because you're not going to be doing this shit after this. Shut up. You know they're going to be doing that and you're going to be loving it. But Lauren then gets up and she asks if Kennedi needs that. Do you need that? Because you ain't wanted in that office. We got nothing but space and opportunity. We at the house now. Let's get it going. Rightfully so. Kennedi took her time getting up. Different than how she did with Alexis. She thought Alexis was going to be an easy win. That's why she hopped up so fast. She knows Lauren is going to give her a run for her money for real for run. She don't know if she can beat Lauren. That's why she takes forever to even get up, which is why she also never wants to run that fight. But Nugg then is talking about how Chastity, she ends up segueing and prevents them from actually getting to run their fade and starts talking about how Chastity is boring, but she's bad, but she's boring, and then starts going down the line calling other people boring. The girl who's with you is boring. Yes. Like, your right-hand man is boring. Hennessy is boring. Like, the people that you... Snow Blue is boring. Amber is boring. Like, come on. Like, picking and choosing when they want to call somebody boring. But Chastity ends up stating that Nugg is calling her out for being boring. And Chastity was like, all I heard was that you're really, really pretty. I like Chastity. She then says, like, I wanted to fuck Nugg. But now I don't even know if I want to do that anymore because you're doing all of that. But Chastity then says, if you felt like I was boring, you could have pulled me to the side instead of doing this shit in front of everybody because she got a crush on her. It's clear she got a crush on Nugg, unfortunately. But Hennessy then says that nobody is checking temperatures in here like y'all claimed y'all was doing in them group chats. And I'm like, Hennessy, what have you done? Like, besides jump, Zaniyah, what have you really done? But Caribbean then gets up, talking about something she wanted to know who the fuck they was talking to because they ain't talking to me. That's what she said in her confessionals. The energy Caribbean has in her confessionals does not match the real-time energy. And I hate it because she's a pretty girl, but it's just like, it makes you look corny. It makes you look corny. But Hennessy is stating that it's not even about fighting or whatever. It's just y'all need to show more personality and be more of yourself. And I'm like, what have you shown, Hennessy? Like, besides literally fighting Zaniyah and being like a buck buddy with Kayla, I don't really feel like you have grounds to really talk about it either. But they start talking about how they like Caribbean because Caribbean ends up talking about something excluding me, right? And she didn't state it like she was stating it in the confessionals. She said excluding me, right? And then smile with it. You should have said, like, what? You talking about me too? Like, what? Talk on that type of energy. She didn't have that same energy that she had in the confessionals. But they all tell her that they like her, and she sits down. She gets in her confessional stating that that they need to stop acting like they bigger than the program because they ain't really doing nothing but fight, which is true. And she then says, like, that's why I stood up. Like, who the fuck you talking to? You didn't stand up like that, but okay. But Yaz then addresses her energy to Minnie. Talking about Minnie should have went home because I had to fight Jewel for you. You didn't have to. Minnie never asked you to. You did that because you needed a moment. And you got a moment that you didn't want. You didn't want that moment. That's not the moment you thought you was going to get. But Minnie says nobody checked me, essentially, because Yaz was like, Jules came in there checking you. Nobody's going to be checking me. And Minnie was like, nobody checked me. She did check you. But Yaz is sitting there trying to have a moment. Like I said, she's talking about she's going to get some sneakers and she's going to have to run there with Minnie. You just want you want camera time. But Key stands up and says that she's new to this shit. Y'all don't really know me like that. I don't know y'all like that. I'm not a dick rider. I'm not going to be sitting up here in everybody's face. I respect that. But she then says, like, I mean, I'll turn it up if you feel like I need to turn it up a little bit more. Don't do shit that you don't want to do. Like, stop letting these girls try and pump you into doing something that you don't need to do. But Yaz then says, pop your shit. So Zaniyah. Zaniyah then inserts herself talking about how I run my phase all the time. We know that. She said I run my phase all I want all the time. And she said, I told Hennessy on that bus on the way to the club that I was waiting on my eye to go down, and Hennessy was cool with it and said that she would fight me whenever it's down, like I said. And we could have did it the next morning. But Hennessy decided that she wanted to come back from the club and go jump me with Kayla. Hennessy sitting there denying that she didn't state that she stated that she wouldn't fight her that night, which we literally saw it. But Zaniyah then says that we didn't fight in the morning. Y'all jumped me after the club, which is true. And it's like, I don't feel bad because we know Zaniyah jumped Hennessy, so Hennessy just got her lick back. But my whole thing is with Hennessy, own up to it. Zaniyah was clocking her because she wasn't owning up to it. She also clocked Kayla too, but we'll get to it in a minute. But Zaniyah then says that, and Zaniyah says that Hennessy says she was going to fight me in the morning. Hennessy says, well, I got drunk and I fought you. Oh, well. Now she finally acknowledged that. But after that, Hennessy then says that Zaniyah wants sympathy now because you jumped me on. Like, why are you trying to get sympathy when you jumped me on the other show? Basically, that's what she stated. Zaniyah said, you should have fought me with your sisters. Like, why are you waiting to fight me when you get Kayla here? But Hennessy then tries to get up to run it, and she then apologizes for jumping her, which I'm like, why are you apologizing? Just like Zaniyah said, you don't need to apologize. You jumped her back. That's just literally what it is. It's an eye for an eye. But Zaniyah then says, like, Hennessy grew balls on the show, coming to jump her with another bitch talking about Kayla. So Hennessy then says that she didn't wait to jump her, and I didn't want to jump you. I said, okay. Well, she said that in her confessionals that she didn't want to jump her. Wait for it. Just wait for it. But Kayla then says that she just wanted Zaniyah to feel what it was like to get jumped. So Zaniyah is popping her shit in real time, and Zaniyah ends up asking Kayla, why couldn't Hennessy fight me by herself? Why did she need to have you? And then Kayla then says, because she didn't want to get into it and start running it with you because your eye was already fucked up. And Zaniyah was me. She said, you literally are contradicting yourself. Because if that was the case, she wouldn't have jumped me. And that's literally what happened. But they start going back and forth. Kayla tries to run up on Zaniyah. Security stops it. Kayla then gets in her confessionals and states that with Hennessy, the plan was to jump Zaniyah. And Hennessy did not deny it. So you literally said that you didn't want to jump her, but now you're confirming that y'all did want to jump her. Like, just own up to it. Just own up to it. You wouldn't be wrong because she jumped you. Just own up to it. But Hennessy then asked Snow Blue for a cosign about her running up on Zaniyah, because Zaniyah pretty much made it seem like you couldn't do anything unless you had your partner with you. So she's pretty much like, I did run up on her first. Didn't I run up on her first? Just like I ran up on Jules too. And Snow was like, yeah, you did. But Snow gets in her confessionals and is like, I don't even know why she's trying to insert me into this shit. But Hennessy is sitting there talking about how she ran up on both Zaniyah and Jules was like, she ready to run up on Hennessy and hit her, but she's not going to let her trick her out her spite and have her eye fucked up. But they then send everybody to their rooms, except for Kennedi and Lauren. And guess what? Kennedy's sitting there talking about something, I'm not fighting Lauren unless my big sister's here. Go home. Because that is the most punk shit I've ever seen. That just proves that you are scared of Lauren. That's just really what it is. And Lauren's like, why? Like, Lauren's trying to figure out why won't you want to fight me? Like, you was talking all that shit. Get up and fight. And that's the whole point with Kennedi. Kennedi looks like a loser because you was popping all that shit before. She was popping it on that podcast with Alexis and Legacy. Popping it with Lauren. Just for when Lauren wants to run that shit, you don't want to run it. But Lauren then said, and you just proved Alexis's point. Alexis literally said that online. Y'all gonna see how slowly she decides to get up to even potentially fight Lauren. Whereas when it came to me, all I said was I needed that and you got up. Which is the truth. It literally was proven. But Lauren then says, you trolled me all day. Said that you needed that. I'm still on that. So I didn't get to run my fade in the office like everybody else did. Everybody else got to run theirs. And y'all told me that if I run mine, I'm going home. It's not fair. And it's not fair. She's not right. She's not wrong. But Lauren starts crashing out. And she's sitting there trying to fight Kennedi in between security, and security tries to block her. Kennedi then starts running all around the house. Which I took it as her being scared, considering everything else. But Lauren then says that she needs that. She wants that. She got to get that. Gwan Goodie gets up trying to run up for Kennedi. You just got beat up by Alexis. Beat up. And she's not even half the size of Lauren. What do you think is going to happen there? What? So Lauren says, let's get it. Lauren ain't scared. Lauren is not scared. Gwan Goodie comes running towards Lauren. She fails. She ends up falling. Security's blocking them. Lauren's crashing out. Lauren then says that shit pissed her off, and she's on 10 now. So Kennedi is in there running her mouth still, talking about how she got bookings and shit to do. She can't be performing with a black eye. All these copping pleas. That's just really what it is. If that's the case, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking shit if you don't want to fight. But I'm like, where's Kayla at? Because Kayla, you were saying all that shit about Caribbean not wanting to fight. Here's somebody here who's not wanting to fight. Why are you not checking her like you was about to check Caribbean? But Yaz and Lauren, they end up in the room together. Security put them in the, I guess the producers put them in the room together. Lauren is still on 10. She going off. And as we all know, Yaz has some type of affiliation with Kennedi. So with Lauren going off, Yaz don't like it. Lauren is obviously heightened up. Like her energy is all the way here. So she's going to be talking more aggressive. Of course, when she's talking to Lauren about Kennedi and her sitting there asking her questions is going to get to a point where they like this. And that's literally what it was. So, Lauren said that Yaz was in there defending Kennedi, which was pissing her off even more because I can't even get to Kennedi at this point. So they then start going back and forth. Yaz gets up and squares up, and she ends up dropping Lauren. That first hit dropped her. She got a second hit. Lauren got up, though, and she got to putting Yaz up against their wall. Security broke it up. If you asking me, if we counting hits to determine who won, Lauren won. Lauren had 4 hits to Yaz's 2. If we talking about impact, Yaz's first hit knocked Lauren down. Knocked her down. But I'm giving that win to Lauren. Kennedi and Gwan Goodie, they sitting in there laughing because they heard everything, thinking that Yaz beat Lauren's ass, and that's not what it was. But they over there thinking that she beat her ass. Kennedi's in there talking about some. See what happens when you got real friends. They're willing to beat your ass for me, and like you look like a fool. Like this is not what you think it is. It's not giving what you thought it was gonna give. But Yaz is in there running her mouth to the camera about Lauren, trying to have a moment. So they finally calm everybody down to go get some food. Yaz then hears Lauren, apparently. We didn't get to see it for real, but they pretty much recanted it. Lauren said that she was looking out her window and saw Yaz walking by, ran out, and swung on her ass. But Lauren starts talking about how weird it is that Kennedi's just been popping that shit the whole time. But when it's time to run phase, she don't want to run it. She don't want to run it. She want to send her other bitches to come out here and do it, and it's weird. And it is. She's not fucking lying. But that was the episode. Like I told y'all, Zaniyah is pretty much telling a lot of the girls, the split-up girls, the girls that weren't the bullies, if you want to call them the bullies, those girls, the ones that they call boring, with Alexis and Legacy and Lauren on the bus, she's sitting there telling them that Cy and Kennedi were going to jump Hennessy. And Zaniyah was going to get Kayla again. So everybody's laughing like, what the fuck? So I guess word gets back to Kennedi, and Kennedi's now copping pleas to, I'm assuming, either Hennessy or Kayla. And now she's crying because I'm assuming that they're probably trying to fight her and she don't want to fight. Punk shit. But that was the episode, y'all. Please thumbs up the video. Drop some comments down below. Share the video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.